From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 530 News.
Honor and respect on this Veterans Day, which originally marked the first anniversary of the end of World War I. Well, today in Billings, a much quieter thank you to all those in armed forces who have and do serve our country. And as snow falls, temperatures drop and roadways across our region turn dangerous, potentially even deadly for drivers. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Jeanelle Slade. Well, accidents coming in from every direction, crashes and slide-offs, more than a dozen reported just over the last couple hours. Take a look here on Highway 3. A car hit a guardrail and went down a short embankment. Luckily, everyone inside the vehicle appeared to be okay. There are also reports of accidents on both sides of I-90 and westbound and an I-94, likely slowing down traffic as crews respond to those. So be careful out there. The roadway's icy. It's hard to see out there. Chief Forecaster Bob McGuire joining us now with we knew the snow was coming, but not quite like this.
Yeah, we didn't have the icing conditions, and that's what's happened. Let me show you. Go to the Doppler radar right now. You can see there's a snowfall, but it is in the process of moving out of here. It started around 1 o'clock this afternoon, and now it's just really in the process of winding down. But at the same time, we had a lot of moisture moving from the west as a lot of cold air dropped down from Canada. So there was the reason, the cold front there, and you'll notice we had those showers and snow showers here. But by 7 o'clock tonight, those start to move out of here. And then tomorrow, this thing all gets out of here. We'll look at warmer temperatures moving in, getting back into the 40s, and if you can wait long enough, we'll be getting back up into the 50s. But we did hear that we did have about 8 car accidents just in the last half hour right on Interstate 90 and on Billings streets. Downtown Billings, I believe it's 4th Avenue. It's backed up, so anybody going to the Heights tonight, you'll be running into problems there tonight. There's a crash on Montana Avenue right there, as you see. So very slick streets. If you got to go out tonight, just please be careful out there. Let's go back to Jeanelle.
All right, thanks so much, Bob. Well, local veterans groups gathered in a ceremony in Billings today to honor all veterans of America's armed forces. A ceremony that's usually filled with large groups and pomp and circumstance was foregone for a much smaller event. Q2's Mitch Laggy takes us there.
In Billings, members of America's armed forces were honored with a ceremony at Veterans Park on Wednesday. The ceremony was scaled back from its usual size to accommodate for COVID-19. But those in attendance still made sure that the veterans were recognized for their service. On a normal Veterans Day, local veterans groups would gather at the Yellowstone National Cemetery in Laurel. This year, the ceremony was broken up into 2 smaller events, with one in Billings and one in Laurel. Remarks were given by Billings Mayor Bill Cole, Governor-elect Greg Gianforte, and representatives from both Senators Steve Daines and John Tester's offices. Chaplain of the Billings chapter of Disabled American Veterans, Sue Davidson, gave the opening prayer, asking for unity across the country.
We cannot let our disagreements tear apart our great country, which so many have shed their blood for, our wonderful freedoms we've been fighting for. We are still the United States of America and one nation under you, O God. United we stand and divided we fall. We cannot fail and we cannot fall.
Members of the Eugene Serra detachment of the Marine Corps League presented the flag, while Marissa Underwood, Miss Montana 2020, recited the Pledge of Allegiance. The VFW Post 6774 shot their guns in a salute, while a bugler played taps on his horn. Vietnam vet Dave Rye placed a wreath on the monument in the park, a symbol thanking veterans and their families for their service and sacrifice.
And Veterans Day is a great opportunity to return the favor and say to our veterans, we know that you have our back, and it's our turn to say to you that we have your back.
All of us have veterans in our lives. You're our friends, our fathers, our brothers, our sisters, our co-workers, and because of your sacrifice, we enjoy the freedoms that we have in this country. We can never fully repay the debt that we owe you, but we can say thank you, and that's what we do here on Veterans Day.
Reporting in Billings, Mitch Laggy, MTN News.
Thank you, Mitch. Now the group stopped at the Yellowstone National Cemetery in Laurel for a ceremony at 2 o'clock this afternoon. A local nonprofit helped feed more than 100 service members and their families this Veterans Day. The Veterans Meat Locker gave out free meat to veterans who stopped by American Legion Post number 4 today. Vets were also treated to breakfast donated by the American Legion and prepared by Phillips 66 refinery staff. Now, the Meat Locker operates with the help of donated domestic and game meat from area ranchers and hunters. This year, the Meat Locker is stepping up its services for the holiday season. The group is currently seeking holiday food staples to distribute on Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Have a meat giveaway or a meat handout with these boxes. It'll be on November 23rd from 5 to 7 p.m. It'll be a drive-up style that everybody lets us know beforehand, their families and their names, and they can drive up here after work and we'll run out a box with their name on it and they sign and they go. So it'll be a quick, easy way, and they'll have a Thanksgiving dinner in a box ready for them by Thursday.
And that breakfast was donated by Phillips 66 and prepared by the American Legion. Now, to make a donation to the Montana Veterans Meat Locker, you can find a Facebook page in this story at ktvq.com. Well, COVID-19 related deaths across Montana have nearly reached 500. This as county health authorities announce another 7 victims today. Those individuals, 2 in Roosevelt County and 1 in each Yellowstone, Custer, Deer Lodge, Granite, and Webo counties. MTN News now reports this brings the statewide total deaths from COVID-19 related illness to 497. Now, despite the rate of infections, the Yellowstone County Health Officer will not enact any new restrictions this week, but he's not ruling out more in the future. Yellowstone County Health Officer John Felton hinted on Monday that new orders may be on the way, but said in a press release this afternoon that while the situation is still very serious, officials will wait on 1 more week of data. The number of patients hospitalized in Yellowstone County remains at the highest level since the beginning of the pandemic. For the first 10 days of November, an average of 124 people a day. Well, the state reports 500 people are in hospitals across Montana, but help is on the way. A spokesperson for Senator Steve Daines says Montana will get more than 700 vials of the newly approved Eli Lilly antibody drug this week. Well, on this Veterans Day, a Helena area woman is sharing her story and one way she's getting help to overcome some dark wartime memories. MTN's Alexia Gallo introduces us to Amber and Arbor.
Good boy, speak! Speak!
Arbor is a playful, loving dog according to the owner, Amber. But another special thing about Arbor is that he is a service dog trained for veterans with post-traumatic stress, among other things. Amber enlisted into the Army in the mid-'80s and knew from the start it was going to be a long journey.
Right from the get-go in basic training, I learned very quickly that I was a female. And I went through hell being a female.
She suffers from post-traumatic stress disorder after her military sexual trauma. For about 30 years, the invisible wound kept Amber depressed, away from living a social life. Then Arbor came around to help her overcome that.
I never saw myself as my wound being worthy, and having Arbor was like a badge of honor for me. It was like coming home, that I could just embrace that I had served too.
Arbor comes from the Canine Companions for Independence, a nonprofit that provides service dogs for those in need, like veterans with PTSD. December will mark 1 year that Amber and Arbor have been together. Within the 1 year, Amber says she's gained more independence, freedom, and a social life.
And I find myself out for an hour, maybe 2 hours, exploring things, looking around. It is incredibly healthy for me because I could stay in this house for 3-5 days and never leave and never have a problem with it. I can't do that with Arbor. It's medicine. He has to get out, and I love him. Look how he is.
There are 16 Montanans with service dogs under this organization. Amber is the only one that is a military veteran. In Helena, I'm Alexi Guayo, MTN News.
And Amber hopes her story encourages others to take action and seek necessary help. Up next on tonight's MTN 530 News right here on Q2, as Montana businesses continue to navigate their way through the COVID-19 pandemic, there may be some financial relief on the way. We will explain. And in sports, our athlete of the week gives new meaning to laying through pain. We'll meet him in just a bit.